Killer Bees, ESPN 97.5, ESPN 92.5. What's Lovie's level of responsibility? Interim head coach Lovie Smith. What is his level of responsibility for the Texans season? 1-8-1. Texans just promoted from within a 4-win team and hired the defensive coordinator from the 4-win team and had one of the worst defenses in the NFL. They had one of the worst offenses they hired from within to fill the offensive coordinator position, Pep Hamilton, and the offense has somehow gotten worse under Pep Hamilton. But anyways, Brian T. Smith, Lovie Smith yesterday, press conference after the game. Lovie Smith said today like 100 times during this press conference. But Brian T. started to talk about, which, by the way, I asked this to Bill O'Brien once, his reaction to how the crowd, like the crowd was booing Bill O'Brien. After like a 9-game winning streak, they were playing bad against the Colts. I said, what'd you think of the crowd booing? And Bill O'Brien's like, well, we got to do better questions than that. That's a stupid question. Got really mad at me. Brian T. Smith then asked the very next
Bill
question.
O'Brien got mad at the media?
Yeah, Teapot Bill got mad at me. But anyways, here's what I thought. You know this by now. Brian T. Smith, Lovie Smith, big argument between the two, blow up between the two. Here was my favorite part of this Lovie Smith blow up yesterday at NRG.
Yeah, we've been booed, yes. And every time something is bad, fans are going to boo, and they have a right to do that. What is your question?
I was going to ask my question.
What is
it? How does this get better? How do you improve this?
By putting a better product on the football field.
Why didn't that happen today?
Because I didn't think I should do it today.
Oh, that was so good. Why did it happen? I didn't think I should do it today. Which interim head coach in NFL history is like, you know what? We can do better. We can perform better. We can execute better, but I don't want to do it today.
You know, it's a coach that he understands the process. He knows what to embrace at the right time. And he knows that this organization is embracing Davis Mills for this full season. And I understand that Brian T. Smith has a job to do, and maybe I almost applaud him because we know that there's a lack of media members in this town that are willing to go back and forth with a coach and ask the tough question. And, you know, when Bill O'Brien used to get cantankerous and get testy and go, that was the sign that you were supposed to back down and just walk away. I like a guy, like I respect Barry Warner for the fact that if nothing else, if a coach went at Barry went right back at said coach and wasn't going to just let him get away with that.
Yeah, it's just hilarious that, we could have done better, but just not today. Why not? Well, I didn't want to do it today. That's why, Brian. I didn't want to be better today.
Well, I think he meant, I didn't want to make a quarterback change in the middle of the game.
I don't know, man. Like, play that again for us, Brendan. Play that part again where Lovie, like, that was my favorite part. I didn't want to do it today. Let's see what Lovie was talking about here.
Yeah, we've been booed, yes. And every time something is bad, fans are going to boo, and they have a right to do that. What is your question?
I was going to ask my question.
What is it?
How does this get better? How do you improve this?
By putting a better product on the football field.
Why didn't that happen today?
Because I didn't think I should do it today.
See, but I think that the context...
He said he wants to put a better product on the field.
But Brian T. was also trying to get back to the quarterback, and I think that it started, and I may be wrong, but I think it started with quarterback conversation about making a change.
Yeah, that was like the
position.
First question.
Yeah.
And I think Brian T. had like the third question.
I think, and he wanted to get back into that again.
Maybe.
So maybe that's where I was taking it, was that he was Brian T. was kind of hinting at making a change at quarterback that Lovie isn't willing to make.
But it was funny, though. I mean, like, we got to do a better job of putting a better product in the field. Well, why aren't you? I didn't want to do it today. Like, that is one of my favorite sound bites I've ever heard. Here was Lovie, too, on why they weren't better last night.
Why were you guys not better today?
I'm not going to tell you that, right? I mean, what do you expect me to say right now? We just got beat.
Oh, yeah. I didn't want to do it today. I'm not going to tell you that. Lovie was a little bit flustered by Brian T. Smith. Like, I didn't think Lovie handled that pressure all that well, as you can tell. I don't think there's anything Lovie can do. I don't mind Brian T. challenging him either. I think we should see some more of that. Brian T. Smith is tired of hearing this positive Lovie Smith, positive interim head coach Lovie Smith with this positive spin of a one-win team. Like, we had realistic expectations, so we thought that this was feasible, that this was possible, that the Texans would have one win to this point. Like, I don't understand the anger. Like, I don't understand why everybody's mad. You should have known the Texans that this was possible. But I like the challenging questions at press conferences. I think it's a good thing. I like it from Houston media. I don't think Lovie handled it that well. That said, like everybody, like, bench Davis Mills. Why? Fire Pep Hamilton. Why? Like, what is there to accomplish
You're
here?
not trying to make the playoffs. You're not trying to improve your standing right now. You know the season essentially is over. You're playing out the string because of the fact that you haven't been. I believe, have you been officially eliminated? You're not the first team to be officially eliminated
Playoffs?
because of
I haven't thought about playoffs.
because of the extended playoff format. That
Have
they
not
haven't
thought
started
about
to
it.
see those social media posts come out yet. That someone, that's always a big joke and a laugher when so-and-so is the first team officially eliminated. But you already know you've been officially eliminated without being officially eliminated. So there's no reason to make a quarterback change. We said this even before we got to this point. We said it all season long. He should be the starting quarterback for this team, barring injury, for all 17 games. And you will get a clear understanding of what you got, what he doesn't have, and what you need to do. It's that simple.
Hey guys, back to the video in just 1 minute. Before that, I want to tell you about Fitz Roofing. If you got a leaky roof or need a full roof replacement on your business or your home, or you want to get something done around the yard or maybe something around the house, they have the best warranties in the business, the best ratings, and the best service. They're going to take care of you every step of the way. Fitz Roofing, making a difference, one home at a time.
Texans
Confirming?
they haven't been officially eliminated.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say.
Maybe
because
that's
of the
why
extended playoff format.
Maybe that's why Brian T. Smith wants to change at quarterback. He thinks that this team has a playoff run in it. That's why the Beehive that loves the Houston Texans think there should be a change at quarterback. They think that the Texans have a playoff run in them. I wonder if Cody thinks the Texans have a playoff run in them. Maybe that's why there's change. Maybe that's why everybody's angry. Maybe I failed as a talk show host in the city of Houston to not realize that the Texans still had a possibility to make the playoffs. And for that possibility to come to fruition, they need to bench Davis Mills for Kyle Allen. They need to replace the nose tackle for whoever the backup nose tackle is. Look, Lovie didn't handle the pressure great. I like Brian T. Smith's challenging questions. I don't understand the anger with this team. I don't understand why everybody's mad. You should have saw it coming. And what is it going to do? You replace Davis Mills for Allen. You replace right linebacker for backup outside linebacker. What are you accomplishing? You're just making change to make change.
Well, I think that I understand the frustration from Lovie's perspective because no
Lovie,
matter
sure.
what you
I'm talking about fan base. I'm talking about Brian T. Smith.
Right. I mean, like suddenly people are saying yesterday too, the fans have finally had enough. They're showing they're showing management their disdain by not showing up. The majority of those tickets are sold, by the way. They just don't show up to the games.
And like, could you get more fed up? Like, I didn't even know that existed, right? Because I talk a lot about approval rating. I think approval rating is kind of like a good way to look at this. Approval ratings anywhere from 0 to 100. What was the approval rating of the Texans before kickoff yesterday?
Probably
10, 9. Like, I mean, pretty low, right? Pretty close to rock bottom. Did it go a couple of points closer to rock bottom?
You're talking about out of 100?
Did it go from a 10 to a 5 yesterday? Did it go from a 5 to a 0? Like, okay, great. Like, it doesn't really matter.
Here's the thing. We're judging it before the game started, too, before you had to watch that start-to-finish ass-kicking and debacle that took place. So before the game started, was it any different than it was all of last week or all of this season, maybe barring the first game of the year, that you were supposed to, the first couple games where you expected the unexpected? I don't think it would have gone down before the game. I think that it's obviously the level of frustration is, look, it's not getting any better. The players that you were hoping for in the case of Davis Mills or expecting in the case of like a Kenyon Green, maybe too soon, they're not living up to expectations in that game. They got their ass whooped. But that doesn't mean that's where I could see the number go down. But at the same time, this is where the false expectations of what did you really truly expect?